What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Fiction Tea with T. So, today we're going to talk about the final episode, Chapter 8 of Legion. Let's get straight into it. So, the burnt face guy, the burnt FBI agent, governmental agent guy, he's going through his life and it's miserable and it's sad, and he tries to go to work and they tell him, yeah, we're gonna have to put you behind the desk because your face all jacked up basically, and we don't want people to be afraid or scared or look at it. She didn't say it in those words, but that's basically what she was telling him. And he was like, look, you can say whatever you need to say, but when I leave out of here, I'm gonna seek revenge. When I leave out of here, I'm going to war. Like, it's a wrap. There's nothing you can tell me, because he's trying to seek out revenge. He's like, basically, look at my face, and you think I'm gonna sit back at a desk and live the rest of my life looking like this? No, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna seek revenge and start war. So he tells the lady that, and he's out. He dips, and he's walking with his cane, he's gone. Now, one of the best scenes in the beginning of the episode, the opening, was when David came out and he stacked up all the SWAT men on top of each other like a tree. That was so cool. They were like magnets that all kind of just synced up together and like build a giant tree. And I was like, that's dope. That's tight. That's dope. That was a really cool part. And it's just like, okay, what exactly did Burnt Face Guy think he was gonna do? He thought he was gonna go there and like win this and that it was just gonna be easy peasy. He thought wrong. He was salty because once David was on, he was on. Once he activated his power, it was pretty much a wrap. And Burnt Face Guy is just standing there looking stupid like, oh, dang, just with that dumb expression. So, Carrie ends up telling David that if you don't learn how to control this, the Shadow King's gonna take control of your body and you'll disappear. You'll no longer exist, basically, and he'll take control of your body and consume it, and you'll just be left with pretty much nothing. You won't exist. You'll cease to exist. He tells David that, and I also felt bad about the relationship between the two Carries. It's still not there. Female Carrie's not talking to male Carrie, and I just feel really bad. I'm like, come on, you two, you need to like fix that. The scene between Melanie and Oliver sometimes makes me question if they actually were a couple. I mean, I know it's mentioned several times, but I definitely had speculation when I was watching it because I'm like, Oliver doesn't even remember her. Like, what if they never were really even together and this whole thing is made up at this point? Like, I don't know. I definitely have speculation even throughout the episode when they kept on saying it and confirming it, just because Oliver doesn't remember her, and it just seems kind of weird at certain points. And it's like, what if she just like made this up in her mind or something? So David eventually comes face to face with the guy, Burnt Face Guy, and tells him that the war is over. The war is ended. And then we get a scene with Sydney in the white safe room where her and David kind of spent their time. And she sees Lenny. And Lenny's looking all loony and all dirty looking and just like jacked up, beat up looking with like scars on her face and like black tar feet. And her whole aesthetic is just on point. Her acting skills are actually pretty good. The fact that she goes through these different characters. So she tells Sydney, you're going to help me. You're going to help me get out of here, or I'm going to destroy David. And Sydney loves David, so she's going to do whatever it takes. She pushes those buttons. So Sydney ends up telling the governmental guy the truth about what's really going on with David and how the Shadow King is basically inside of his body. The older mutant is like trying to take control of his body. And Melanie is like, what are you doing? Why would you, like, that's none of his business. And she's like, no, like, she's basically trying to do whatever it takes to save David at this point, and she doesn't care if they know about the truth or they know about what's going on. She's just focusing on David. One thing that I really enjoyed was the music scene with the Pink Floyd in the background. I was like, breathe, breathe in the air. That was great. I love Pink Floyd, so I was excited about that. And I think it fit well for that scene. And I loved how David went into like this seizing mode, and like the clawed hands came up to his face. Everything about that scene was just on point. And I definitely appreciated that scene. I thought it was good. So, as he's twitching, he goes into his mind and he sees Lenny, and she's looking crazy. Her skin is chalky, her eyes are like super red, and she's just looking deranged. She looks crazy as hell. And there's also another scene where Carrie leaves the governmental guy in the room, and I'm just like, why would you leave him there? And then she's like, I'll be back. You should know that's not a good idea, leaving him in there, and that he's obviously going to try to escape or something. Like, that just wasn't a good idea. But by far, the worst idea of the entire episode was Sydney going over to David and kissing David to swap with him because she didn't want the Shadow King to take over David's body. But it's like, the Shadow King's gonna go into your body. It doesn't really change or help anything. She's like, well, it was gonna kill you. But like, that was like one of the worst things she could possibly do, because then once the Shadow King got into her body, it touched Carrie, female Carrie. It got into her body, female Carrie. You did this with her finger, and like Melanie collapsed. I don't know, she like fake shot her. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, Shadow King was in her body. And then there was a scene between David and the Shadow King who's in Carrie's body, and they run into each other and collapse. And there's like this kind of magical scene where one of them is blue, one of them is like fire. And I thought that was a great scene, that magic scene, that power scene where they touch each other and just like poof. Yeah. One of them was blue, one of them was orange, and like poof, there was an explosion, and then the Shadow King spirit, basically, the dark mist, escaped and went straight into Oliver. Everybody wakes up, they're like, oh, we're fine, we're okay. And then Mel Carey is just like, I don't get it, like, it needs a host. And then Melanie's like, where's Oliver? And as you know, Shadow King done took over Oliver's body. Oliver's in the car driving on the road with Lenny, and they're like, where are we going to next? And Lenny's in the car. She looks completely different. She's all cleaned up looking, and they're off to wherever they're going off until season 2. But I feel like the fight scene could have been a little longer. It kind of happened super fast. That was one thing. And besides that, the episode was okay. It wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it or anything. And I look forward to seeing season 2. And let me know your thoughts about the finale. Everything kind of went by super fast, but nonetheless, it wasn't a bad finale at all. It's just the one part I wish could have been longer. The fight scene could have been longer, because I feel like it was like super fast, but like I said, it wasn't bad. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also a copy of Reign by T. Outlaw. You can go on Amazon. You can read the back cover. You can also get some information on it and read some of chapter 1. It's a psychological thriller about young adults in a psych ward who are trying to figure out why they're in there in the first place. Everything's kind of suspicious. They think that it was mental health issues until they get this new counselor who comes, and he basically shows them the light, and like, there's something else going on here. He finds out that they have abilities, and it just gets really gory and dark and very scientific, and just it's really eerie. It's very eerie. So yes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Hit the link in the description box if you want a copy of the book. And I will see you all next time for the next video.